of us cannot stand here, but each can bow our heads and pray silently for a moment. Talk to God in your own way for a moment. Talk to God in your own way. Talk to God even now. This memorial challenges the darkness.
Slavery in America was violent, traumatizing, and tragic. It lasted for over 2 centuries, creating a wound that has not healed. After emancipation, Black people were re-enslaved through Jim Crow laws, disenfranchised and unprotected by the rule of law. There was great suffering. But nothing maintained racial inequality more than lynching. Thousands of Black people were drowned, burned, shot, and hanged. Millions fled the American South as refugees. We've been silent about lynching for too long. It's time to end the silence, to memorialize those who died, who fled, who feared the terror our nation tolerated. Only by acknowledging the truth of our past can we have hope for our future. That is the purpose of the National Memorial for Peace and Justice. This is its faith dedication, the blessing of this space.
We gather this morning to remember. We gather this morning in festive and solemn joy to remember and to make present those ancestors, those foremothers and forefathers who made this place and so many places in our country sacred by the sacrifice of their blood. We gather to remember all those whose names are known, but we also gather to remember those whose names are known only by their God.
And we have equality. We have walked through the shadows of death.
But we know the Legacy Museum and this memorial help uncover the truth and help us remember. We remember that pushing Black folks around, that controlling and containing and hurting and humiliating and terrorizing and traumatizing was and is deliberate strategy, state strategy. And only when we acknowledge that truth, when we remember that reality, will we be able to loosen the chokehold of white supremacy over this nation.
We had to walk all by ourselves, but we'll never turn back. No, we'll never turn back. We have hung on.
Whether it was the Middle Passage where millions of people were thrown overboard, was it slavery itself where many times slaves were beaten in front of families, in front of children, in front of pregnant women to send a message of fear? Or this legacy of Jim Crow where they used lynching as a tool to control the economics of the community? And now we know today that we are talking about mass incarceration, and it is the same racialized terror. It is the same racialized terror. That is an opportunity where they put fear into the people to ensure control. This memorial is a place that memorializes and remembers that terrorism exists here in this country.
We have hung our heads and cried for all those like Lee who died for you and died for me.
We believe that in the soil there is the sweat of those who were enslaved. In the soil is the blood of those who were lynched. In the soil are the tears of those who were humiliated during segregation. But in the soil we have collected, we can plant something, and it can grow. and it can be beautiful, and it can nurture us, and it can feed us and lead us into a new era.
Died for the cause of equality, but we'll never turn back.
I'm standing here with Brian today to say that that's our challenge. And every time you look at one of these people, they're not just crying out to be remembered for the lynching that took place. They're crying out to say to you, you can do better. We can do better. We can create the beloved community. We can create a place where all of us can thrive. We can create that world if we stand together and work together and believe together and hope together and dream together for that very day where all justice rolls down like a mighty rivers and righteousness like a mighty stream.
No, we